Welcome to 734 Games, and we are playing some gameplay here. We're playing Outriders. Now, this is a game that I've enjoyed immensely over the past couple weeks or past month or so, and I mean, it dropped on Games Pass, and I did some videos about it. I did a couple videos about it. I even did a video about some other modes that I think could come out, and I was talking about a battle royal mode, and some people thought that, well, Square Enix might want to put more money into their Disney game, which is the Avengers. Although the Avengers, last I looked on a Thursday evening, had 600 people playing it. It was a Friday evening, actually. 600 people playing it, while this game had 11,000 people playing it. So I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be the game that Square Enix puts money into. And People Can Fly, they're a pretty good developer. I mean, like I said, this game is really solid. I mean, they've had a few issues with it, but it's not bad. There's nothing that's game-breaking about this game. There's nothing about this game that's going to break this game and make it unenjoyable. Now, in this video, we're going to fight at the end, we're going to fight the boss Moloch. He's one of the bosses you're going to come across in one of the towns that you have to help, where you go to and have to help. In this game, you're going to find different areas where you got to go and do really cool stuff and blow up a lot of bad guys, and you get different sort of side missions. Side missions are great in this game, and I enjoy it. The hunts are cool. There's just a lot of really cool stuff, and of course, the voice acting isn't the greatest, or not. It's not the voice acting is fine. It's not the voice acting that isn't the greatest. It's the writing isn't the greatest. But other than that, the presentation is cool, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Come on with me, and let's check out some Outriders.
One of them's got to slip past at some point, right?
I'm telling you.
Today, we shall see victory! A great new altered fights at our side! Together, we shall fuck them up!
Now, in this mission, the guy who was defending this town, Seth, was killed by another altered named Moloch. So you gotta go and help defend the town against Moloch and, of course, the other insurgents. And so basically that's what you do is you run, what I did is I went on some side missions so I could power up and do, because that's one thing you gotta do in this, in a looter shooter game, is you wanna go and do some side missions so you can, buff your character a little bit. And that's what I did. I did there were some decent side missions here. So I did that. And I came back and I did that main mission for this area so I could get what I wanted from the mayor of this town. And you saw some of his great Shakespearean dialogue he had earlier. But that's basically the gist of this mission. And right here, it seems like you're basically embroiled in trench warfare, basically. This looks like a World War I game that they said, hey, why don't we turn this into something different and create a looter shooter? And of course, there's a lot of looter shooters out there, but this one is different. One thing a lot of people have not said about this game is that it does not have a whole crap ton of DLC microtransactions. So this is a game that you can basically, you can just buy it and play it. The only thing is it's online. It's always online. And that's why I would say the best way to play it's on Games Pass. Because, I have a hard time paying a straight, $60 for a game that's only online. Or $70 on the PS5. So I kind of like what Microsoft has done with this game. And, I'm enjoying it. The enemies are pretty much, the enemies are, when you're fighting in the main missions, are pretty much the same. Although you do get to run into some monsters. But the monsters are the things that really break it up in this game. Break up some of the fights with, the altered bosses or the riflemen or the insurgents or whatever. So there's a lot of there actually is a lot of variety. I did a video on some other modes I think they could do. I think I could see a battle royale for this game would actually be pretty cool. Although it's funny because some of the like I said, I got a little bit of blowback from that. But I think it's a good idea because this is definitely a game that has some popularity. People are still playing it, unlike Avengers. So this is definitely a game that you should check out. It's like, and I do these gameplay videos, and there's I just want to show you this game. I mean, it's actually a pretty decent looking game, and I haven't had any. I mean, the only thing is there are, like I said, like I said in other videos, there's technical problems with Game will bounce you back to the menu and stuff like that. It does have that. That does happen, but you know, that's pretty much it. Like I get most of you guys who are probably watching this are probably going to be watching this on BitTube TV. That's where I get most of my views. And maybe one person will see this on YouTube. I don't know. I just don't do good with that algorithm. Whatever. I don't care. But I have fun playing these games and showing you these games and talking about random stuff. You know, some other like one thing that's really cool is, I mean, off subject, is the Superman show is coming back on the CW. Right now they got I guess it's done with HBO. Because it's funny because most CW shows, as soon as they go off, they end up going on Netflix. But I guess HBO probably had a hand in the production of Superman and Lois. So basically, that show is on HBO now, and I guess they're gonna stream it first on the CW. They went on a hiatus because they had some COVID issues on the set or something. But I guess they're gonna be back later this month. I heard something really cool is that they're gonna have Green Lantern from the Arrowverse. John Diggle was Arrow's partner, but he didn't have a ring. And when they did the multiverse crossover, basically the Crisis, they found out that he was John Diggle is basically John Stewart with a different last name. So and at the end of Arrow, he found the ring. So I guess he's gonna be on Superman and Lois as John Stewart, as Green Lantern, which is gonna be pretty cool. Can't wait to see that. That's a show I'm looking forward to. And I'm kind of glad HBO. So it goes. I guess it goes as soon as it goes off the air. As soon as the last episode airs, it's going to hit HBO. I could kind of see that because the production levels in the production value as far as the budget in that show looks like an HBO show. It does not look like a regular old network show. It doesn't look like Flash or especially Supergirl. Supergirl and Batwoman look really, really cheap. But not that show. Superman and Lois actually look like they have a movie budget, or at least close to a movie budget. So I can't wait for that show to come back because that's a really awesome superhero show. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like right now. It seems like with the Snyderverse and the Snyder Cut on DCU or this being on HBO Max. I'm pretty happy with my HBO Max subscription. Although, I mean, like the quality of the stream wasn't the greatest when the Snyder Cut was out. But it seems like they've gotten a little bit better with their shows now. But, and obviously Mortal Kombat was fun. But it's like, I don't know. It's like I'm tired of Marvel. I used to love Marvel. But now, it's like that the end of WandaVision and what they did to WandaVision when they took Doctor Strange out of the show. Just the show did not make a bit of sense. And Falcon and Winter Soldier I thought was boring as hell. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, some people are going to call me a DC fanboy, but I don't know. It's like I am not liking Disney Plus right now. And now without Gina Carano on the Mandalorian, I don't know if I'll go back to watch that. The only reason I still have Disney Plus is my nephew. I pay for it so he can watch it because he likes it, but basically there's nothing on there that I watch at all. It's like all cartoons and stuff for little kids, and their superhero shows kind of suck. I don't know. I just can't get into them. But yeah. Anyway, we're playing Outriders, and Outriders is a looter shooter from People Can Fly and Square Enix, which I think is going to get a lot of attention in the future because a lot of people are still playing it. And I hope you if you're not playing it, I hope you check it out if you're into this bro shooter, looter shooter style games without microtransactions. And I mean, that's something that they've really done a good job with. Although I want to see some more modes added on down the road and some more enemy types, that'd be cool. This game is done on the Unreal 4 engine, so it should be pretty quick turnaround on assets and things like that. So I'm hoping that they get really imaginative with this game. I like the monsters that you get to fight too. And there's just a lot here to like. And you obviously get a boss battle. You go basically a lot of the bounties are other altereds that you get to fight throughout the game. Basically, this planet is giving all these people powers, kind of like Superman, for everybody. But they're not really they're not really super. They're not all good guys. Basically, you come to this. They go to this planet that tries to kill everybody and turn some people into supervillains and superheroes. And that's the basic gist of Outriders. And one thing I gotta say about this game is, for a relatively open world game, relatively large game, the game is pretty well done. It's pretty well polished. I mean, it's not without glitches, but as far as the AI and how the NPCs react and everything, I would say the game is actually pretty well made. It's funny because a lot of people are looking forward to Mass Effect, the new Mass Effect remaster that's coming out soon, very soon. Or it's actually, no, it's out. I'm sorry, it's already out. But me, I decided to wait for Biomutant. I know that's going to be a game. That's a game from a smaller developer, but it's an open world now. Unlike this one is like an open world that's kind of created in different blocks. And Biomutant is going to be it's supposed to be a fully open world game. So it'll be interesting to see, because like there is a little, when it comes to open world games, especially when they first come out, there's generally a lot of problems with them. There's problems with this game, but I don't think this game is so buggy that you can't enjoy it. And I'm hoping Biomutant, is better than Cyberpunk at least. Now Cyberpunk, like the main missions were good, but the open world seemed like it was an afterthought. This game, they actually put a lot of care into the open world in this game. Into the world in this game. Like you see the NPCs in the background doing different things. They're all doing their own thing. So they made a world that looks pretty immersive here. And like the fighting is realistic enough that you're immersed into the fighting, or when you get into the big battles and you do different things. And the loot system is pretty decent. I like the loot. I like all the loot that you're gonna find in this level. And I'm hoping. I can't wait to see how that works in Biomutant. Of course, this game has a crafting engine too, or you have crafting in this game too. I haven't done any crafting in this game. So I don't know. I just basically get different weapons and find different weapons throughout the areas and do all these side missions and level up. So that's basically how I play the game. But I'm really enjoying it. And I know Upper Echelon Games said there's a really cool crafting system in this game. Maybe I'll try that sometime. But I'm just really enjoying it. I just like to shoot and blow things up and make turrets appear out of thin air and blow up bad guys. And do different missions and fight big giant monsters. I think I have another video where I'm fighting a big monster. You've probably seen that, or you might want to go back and check that one out. But basically, I've done a couple of videos on Outriders, and it's just a game I've thoroughly enjoyed. It's one of those games I play between watching some cool shows on geek shows on Netflix and going to work and doing other regular stuff that I like to do. But yeah. It's a cool sci-fi action game. And speaking of sci-fi, Love and Robots came back on. That's an interesting series it's like an animation series on Netflix. And I watched it. This season was all right. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's obviously they have some underground animators on there, because it's not like stuff you're going to see in mainstream animation. If you're into that kind of stuff, you may artsy kind of, over the top anthology series, then you might want to check that out. Other than that, I'm just on here talking about random stuff while we're playing through the Outriders. I'm hoping you're enjoying this awesome looking gameplay. Only other thing is, you may want to pick up some cryptocurrency, some of you guys out there. Cardano's really good right now, and Polygon. Those are some really good cryptocurrencies. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but you may want to check that stuff out, because I think there's a lot of money to be made, and I think those cryptocurrencies are going to be going, higher and higher. And do whatever you can. Stay away from Doge, in my opinion. That's like the worst thing you can do. I don't know. I just do not listen to Elon Musk when he talks about Dogecoin. Just don't do it. Stay away. Do whatever you can. Find something better. Well, it's a good time to buy stocks. If you're in America, you may want to. The hedge funds are short selling all the growth stocks. So if you look at some growth stocks like Nano Dimension and CLSK, you may want to check those stocks out, and pick those up, during the week when the hedge funds are pounding them, because when they once they stop those stocks are going to go through the roof. And I'm not a financial advisor, and there's plenty of other people. Check out Stockmo. He's really good. He'll tell you a lot of the cool stuff about stocks. And he actually is a financial advisor, although he's not a licensed financial advisor anymore. He teaches it or something. Although I think he quit just to do YouTube because his advice was so good. You know, people were making so much money that he doesn't have to really teach or do anything anymore. And that's what everybody wants to do. And one way to get out of the rat race is crypto and stocks or YouTube. But I'm not really big on YouTube. I don't really get a lot of views on YouTube. I get most of my views on BitTube, which has profit sharing. It's pretty cool, and they got their own little cryptocurrency. But it's not a big cryptocurrency. So, you know, it's just not one of those things. But I haven't been stacking a lot of it. And BitTube's a great site if you're somebody looking for an alternative to YouTube. Also, Odyssey is really cool. I have an Odyssey account, and I put my videos on Odyssey. That's a great site with some great, the great community. And they have their own coin, Libre coin. Although Libre, they're kind of embroiled in a lawsuit right now. So I do not think that their coin is going to be going up very much right now. But I think they're going to win the lawsuit, and I think they'll be just fine. And here we go.
Easy peasy.
You still kissing that piece of junk, Coleman?
Hey, at least it's better than kissing the sergeant's ass.
Give me that. What is it anyway?
That's from the old world. Oh, if you wouldn't understand, you can't even fucking read.
Sorry, Grandma. It's not a fucking library.
Hey! My grandma was a general.
Shut the fuck up, man. You know your grandma.
Yeah! Do you see that? Moloch.
A new altered. You've come to finish what Seth failed to do.
My fight's not with you.
Oh, it is now. You fight with them. That means you die with them.
And here we are fighting with the main man himself, Moloch. Our final battle for this level was Moloch. And this fight is not that difficult. The main thing to do is keep your distance. Stay out of the way of his beams. He'll shoot like a beam. He'll charge up. He'll give you time. And he'll also do a lunge attack where he kind of lunges. If you can keep your distance, you can stay out of the way of that. And the best thing to do is to use your ice turret. Like what I did, if you're a Technomancer, use your ice turret, freeze him in place, and then use your missile turret and your gun to inflict damage on Moloch, so you can stick and move and do that. And if you're Technomancer, obviously you're not going to be up close, so that's what I did. I haven't played either classes, but I picked this class, and I die a lot playing this class though in some of the main battles, or some of the regular fights, because I don't usually go in with a squad. I don't have people protecting me. I just go in on my own and fight. I enjoy this game as a solo experience, but I hear it's a lot of fun as a co-op experience. Maybe I'll try it, but I like leveling up my gear and doing all kinds of cool, crazy stuff. It is a lot of fun, especially fighting Moloch. Moloch, who was named after an ancient god and a pagan god in the Bible. Anyway, let's not talk about any of that stuff. We are talking about Outriders, the looter shooter, the big hit from Square Enix and People Can Fly. Now, People Can Fly said recently that they don't treat this game as a games as a service, which is weird because it's always online. I think they should have just made it single player, where you could have your own servers or whatever if they were going to go that route. But they made an always online game where it's co-op, but it's not. They don't consider it as games as a service. They say that they're not going to have. You don't have any microtransactions, and that's really one really awesome part of this game. So you're not really getting gouged. You don't have any level boosters. You don't have any time savers or any of that garbage that we really hate. But they basically said that they're going to have DLC, but the DLC is going to be added on. Like later on, they're going to add it on, and it's going to be like self-contained stories, which sounds actually kind of cool. They said they were inspired by Diablo 3, but I mean, Diablo 3 was a great game, but I would not be inspired by the online component of Diablo 3, because I remember trying to log on to Diablo 3. It was like a year after it came out, or maybe 2 years after it came out. I can't remember. And I could not get on. I got stuck in a queue, and I just sat there, and that's what would happen when you tried to play Diablo 3. Fun game, but there were some issues with it. And like, this game is a great game. This game has some issues too, but I've never been locked out where I can't play the game. I've always been able to jump into the game, and I've always enjoyed Outriders. It's a lot of fun. The fighting is really cool, and I hear there's a really cool quest systems. The side quests are great. I hear there's a really cool system for changing your weapons and basically transmogging and all that other cool stuff in this game. So I'll play around with that later. But I'm really enjoying the fights, the gun fights, the boss battles, and all this other cool stuff. Moloch's kind of a generic-looking boss, and you kind of have generic-looking heroes. This is a bro shooter game, basically. So don't expect anything really out there and cool. But it's still a fun game, and I'm enjoying it. The story is not the greatest story ever written, but it passes the story along, and I like doing all the other quests in the game. So it's just one of those things. So you can take the bad with the good, but I think the good definitely outweighs the bad when it comes to Outriders. Yeah, and I definitely see a good future for this game. I mean, especially when you compare it to like the Avengers game. Man, I hate that game as much as I hate Disney Plus. But anyway, I haven't even played that game. It just looks like a crappy game. The idea of the Avengers as a looter shooter, a looter brawler, is kind of silly, because you have these pre-made characters and you're not going to want to change the look very much or change their powers, or it's just weird. I don't know what they were thinking with that. And of course, Disney Plus, the company or the streaming service that fires Gina Carano for something stupid from the best show they have and ruins probably the best show they have in The Mandalorian. And it's just Disney. I don't know. Disney's been really just getting the craps, getting the skid marks recently. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of what Disney's doing, or Marvel, or the Phase 4. I'd rather be playing Outriders on Games Pass, or almost anything on Games Pass, than watching Disney Plus, or playing Avengers. Anyway, I guess right now, cryptocurrency isn't doing that well, but that's probably the best time for you guys to get in, to buy some cryptocurrency. Although I'm not a financial advisor, and I can't tell you to go out and do that. This is all entertainment, and that's why we're playing Outriders and enjoying some cool game footage. I hope the game footage, you guys on BitTube TV should be able to see at least a 1080p. YouTube, I got a reference video on YouTube. I don't get most of my video views on YouTube. Most of my crowd is on BitTube TV. And if you guys are sitting on the fence if you're watching this on BitTube or YouTube and you're sitting on the fence about making content, BitTube TV is a great place. They have profit sharing, and they got their own crypto coin that you can make from basically making content, and you can get it from other people. Yeah, it's a great site, great community. Yeah, a lot of fun. Libre is also a good one. I put a lot of stuff on. I put my stuff on Libre too. And if you're watching it on any of those platforms, you feel free to subscribe, like whatever, and enjoy some cool game footage. I just basically play games and show you the games that I play, and that's how I enjoy making my content for you guys out there. And that's mainly, I mainly stick to games. Sometimes we veer off, but mainly my thing is games. And Outriders is no exception. It's a game that I totally enjoy. Now, the only thing I regret about Outriders is that it's not really, the developer doesn't consider it a games as a service. So they're basically saying that you're not going to get like new modes. Like I did a video about maybe getting a battle royale mode or something. Maybe they'll do like a standalone game, kind of like Apex Legends is to Titanfall. too. You know, that game, like Titanfall 2 is an excellent game. Apex Legends 2 is a game that a lot of people enjoy. Maybe the developer, maybe People Can Fly will do a game like that. It's kind of like an offshoot that has some of those other modes. But I really hope they do some more. You know, I can't wait to see the DLC for this game and see what the stories are. You know, I'm just in, you know, yeah, I love plowing through all the content here and, you know, killing a bunch of bad guys and blowing stuff up, blowing shit up. It's great. And it's a nice little getaway from reality. It's a nice little escape, some little escapism if you want, you know, if you want to get away from the regular 9-to-5 grind that we all have to deal with in our regular lives or school or whatever you have to do. Outriders is definitely a decent game. And I think, especially on Games Pass, being that you basically pay for Games Pass and you get this game for free and you can play it, that's a great deal, and that's definitely something. If you're a Games Pass member, this is definitely a game you should play. Now, I tried Gears of War. They did that update for Gears of War. I was not impressed. You can watch that video. I was not too impressed with that game, Gears of War Hive Busters, that the add-on. I played through Gears of War 5. It was okay, but actually, I think Outriders is actually a superior game than Gears 5 overall too. So I mean, People Can Fly did a great job. They did another Gears game before that, Gears Judgment, and that's kind of a game I want to get to. Maybe I'll do another video of that for you guys on some gameplay, so you can really see what this game is. I think that's the best way to see what a game is about, is to actually see some actual gameplay. And you know, I did some review stuff, and review stuff isn't as interesting to me. It's kind of like when you do reviews, it's kind of like doing a job. But when you're like just playing a game and just, you know, talking about what you like about the game and other random cool stuff, then, you know, it's just a lot more fun for me to make content for you guys. Oh yeah, one more thing about Outriders is, like, I showed you, I probably did another video. Basically, you have different hunts and some of your quests, you have different types of quests, different side missions. And some of these side missions are hunts for, you know, bad guys like Moloch, or they're, you know, hunts for like actual wildlife out throughout this world. And some of the wildlife looks pretty crazy in this game. And I like the designs. They did a pretty good job with the artists did a pretty good job with some of the stuff they came up with. So you fight some really cool looking monsters. And that's one other side of this game that I'm really enjoying. And they got a good leveling tree. And like as you can see, like one thing I like too is that you never have a boss that you get all the way down and he turns into something else. That's kind of fakey. I mean, I know there's a lot of games like that are really cool though. Like Resident Evil's kind of like that, and that was really cool. The original Lost Planet, but you know, this is one of those games that doesn't have that, and I think it's kind of refreshing, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm totally enjoying that. This is definitely a AAA mid-year game. Well, not really mid of the year, but you know, it's a game that came out in the spring, and generally you don't get good AAAs like this in the middle of the spring. But this year we did, and I guess with COVID, they probably knew that they would get some sales. So I mean, as you can see, Moloch is about to go down. I wore him down. That's pretty much what you have to do if you're a ranged character. Now I don't know about the more close-up fighters. I haven't tried using those characters. I mainly have one character. I play mostly on the weekend, so that's basically what I do. So yeah, you know, I basically have one character, stick with that, and run through the game and grind through it. I'm gonna try a party one day and show you guys a party video, and that's pretty much it. Well, let's just see some story here.
This persistence. This world is crashing down. And what will be left without us?
That's how you thank a girl for saving your life?
I knew my fortune teller was gold. She saw exactly where you were buried.
I'm done. You said.
A deal's a deal. You're free to go.
Your shit prophecies can be someone else's problem.
The assault. Tell me this pounding headache was worth it.
The news is good. Of course, it was a bloodbath. But while you were entertaining that abomination, we took back the front. Are you sure I can't entice you to stay? Life is good around here for the altered. Glory of battle. Women, men, worshippers at your feet.
Thanks. There's somewhere I gotta be.
East? The quarry's overrun. Past that's the edge of the world. What does Gutman have you looking for?
Passage through the minefield. That was our deal.
Marshal Bailey knows the way. She'll see your convoy through.
What? No fucking way! Guide us over radio, draw a map. We are not taking her.
We? I never said you were coming.
I'd say you always had a home here, Altered. But I don't think you'll be coming back alive.
Would you piss off? I don't need anyone else to babysit.
I can take care of myself.
Not where we're going.
Hey, just wait! It ain't over till it's over. Did you just... It's how I know I'm supposed to go with you. The anomaly fucked me up too. But I only get the visions. Always horrible visions all my life. Except one. One that's beautiful. It's this planet, but it's lush. And it's green. It's in the future. And there's always someone there with me. I could never see the face, but the voice. It's you. Whatever it is you're doing, I know it's gonna work. Because in the end, we're in that meadow together.
Thank you for watching this episode of 734 Games, and this is your host Tom, signing off from beautiful Washtenaw County, coming to you from 734 Games, where gaming is alive.